Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation, and as you exhale, that's it, close your eyes, and in doing so, just allow your body to sink into the chair. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation, and becoming aware of any tension, and then exhaling that tension on the outward breath. That's right. Continuing to breathe in and breathe out as your conscious mind not only is paying attention to the sound of my voice, but is also aware of different sounds. Perhaps the sound of an air conditioning unit, maybe the sound of traffic or cars outside of this building, maybe the sound of a ticking of a clock, or perhaps voices off in the distance. And in a strange and contradictory way, the more that your conscious mind is picking up on all these different sounds, the better able I am to influence what's happening at the subconscious level. So much of what you do is without conscious thought. When you breathe in and breathe out, you don't have to think to breathe. You blink thousands of times a day, and yet rarely is it a conscious thought or choice. Continue to breathe in and breathe out, and notice that with each exhale, you're releasing more and more tension, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed. And the more relaxed you feel, the better able you are to finally let go of that tension. And as the tension is released, that's it. Your mind is able to access different frequencies. When you sleep, your brain is operating at a different frequency than when you're awake. That awake alpha state is very different from a relaxed beta state or the deep sleep of a theta state. So therefore, the more relaxed your body goes, an echo, a side effect of that is that your brain waves start to access a different frequency. And with that frequency, notice that your eyelids are getting heavier and heavier. Your jaw is becoming more relaxed. Almost the head on your shoulders just feels like it's floating there. That's it. And as your physical body relaxes, your mind can become more imaginative, because imagination is the interface between the conscious and the unconscious. And I want you to imagine a place that you associate with a holiday. Maybe it's a beach, maybe it's a pool, maybe it's a nice countryside. Whatever it is for you is exactly what it should be. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that perhaps you're going back in time or into the future to that place that you associate with a holiday. Perhaps you can imagine seeing it from above, or perhaps like you're there in the moment, there in that place, breathing the air from that location. If it's outside, perhaps feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin. Any smells, you can smell them. Just getting a sense that you're feeling deeply relaxed in this place. And I want you to imagine there is the most comfortable bed that you've ever seen. And strangely, this bed is in that place. And it shouldn't be. Why would a bed be in the countryside or by a pool or by a beach? And yet there it is. The most comfortable bed you've ever seen. And whatever pillows you like are the pillows on that bed. And if the mattress is soft or firm, however you like it, that's how it is on that bed. And I want you to climb on the bed, feeling your head sink into the pillows, feeling your arms and legs sink into the mattress beneath you. And very soon I will count down from 10 to 1, and with each descending number you will feel what it would be like to feel so deeply relaxed on that bed in this holiday location for you that you will drift off into what will feel like a deep, relaxing sleep. Starting to count. 10, just noticing muscles in your forehead, around your eyes, just become aware of any tension, and then release that tension. Now, that's it. 9, focusing now on the muscles in your cheeks and your jaw. As you breathe in that resourceful feeling of relaxation, and then as you exhale, that's it, release the tension there in your jaw and your cheeks. That's it, feeling deeper and deeper relaxed. 8, now paying attention to the muscles in your neck and your shoulders. Using the power of visualization to imagine any tension in your neck and shoulders, almost like crystals of ice locked into your muscle fibers. As you're there breathing in this resourceful feeling of relaxation, perhaps even feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, just imagine those muscle fibers locked into the crystals of ice are just melting away, taking you deeper and deeper. Relax, that's it. 7, that feeling of relaxation now spreads from your neck and your shoulders all the way down your arms to the very tips of your fingers, sinking into perhaps the duvet or the mattress beneath you. 6, as you breathe in, that warm, relaxing feeling even goes into your lungs. Your lungs relax, your stomach relaxes, your heart relaxes, your diaphragm relaxes. All of these internal organs start to relax, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed now. 5, feeling that relaxation now in your gut. What psychologists have called the second brain. Those moments that you have that gut feeling, that you feel something in your gut, that intuition. It's just tiny micro movements there in the muscles in your gut. And imagine what it would be like to just release all of that tension now. It's the source of anxiety because your gut is processing all the things that you can't logically understand and giving you clues as to what to do differently. But here in this place, in this holiday location, here on this comfortable bed, you don't need that now. So allow your gut to be reset, the Control-Alt-Delete for your gut. Wipe the slate clean, release all that tension, giving it a fresh start so you can get a clean read on your intuition going forward. 4, that relaxation now spreading into your legs. Legs feeling limp, loose, heavy. That's it. 3 and then 2, all the way down into your toes. Imagine what it would be like, as you've done many times before, to feel so relaxed that you've drifted off into a nap, even in the most inappropriate of places. But here you are on a comfortable bed. This is the right place to have a nap. Breathing in fresh air. That's it. 2 and then 1. Imagine what it would be like to fall asleep there on that bed, outside, fresh air, sun on your skin. That's it. And what happens when you sleep is you lose track of time. A minute can feel like an hour, and an hour can feel like a minute. And here in this place, you're going inwards into your imagination, and I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that you are in a room. And this room represents your unconscious mind. And here in this room, you have access to every memory, every belief, every thought that's ever existed. And perhaps we need to plant a few more thoughts, change a few beliefs, so that when you return to consciousness, these new thoughts and beliefs have taken root that has a ripple effect throughout your present and your future, taking your life in the very direction that you want to take it. But in order to ensure we're planting the right beliefs, we need to know where we're heading. So here in this room, I want you to imagine a large cinema screen on one of the walls. This represents your future. And I want you to see yourself perhaps a year or 2 years in the future, having lost the weight, not having lost the weight by going on a diet, but losing the weight having made subtle differences in choices over a long period of time. It wasn't just that you lost the weight, that you built new habits, new ways of thinking. That means that you didn't just lose the weight, but the weight stayed off. I want you to see that future version of you at exactly the weight that would make you feel the happiest and healthiest and most confident. And when you can see that version of you on that screen in front of you, just let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to associate an identity to that future. Maybe it's a word, maybe it's a phrase, but there will be something that is in that identity that perhaps isn't part of your current identity. And just allow your subconscious mind to search all the possible words or phrases to highlight the distinction, the difference that makes the difference between that future identity and your current identity. And when your subconscious mind has found the right word or phrase that represents this new future identity, just let me know by nodding your head. And although you're relaxed, you can still talk, and I want you to share with me that word or that phrase that represents this new identity. Helsinki. I want you to see that version of you, and that version of you is now represented by the key phrase Helsinki. I want you to get a sense that that exists in a future version of you, but is somehow missing here. And I want you to identify that perhaps there are beliefs that need to shift, new standards that need to be raised, so that you step into this Helsinki version of you. Your unconscious mind already knows what needs to change. Your unconscious mind knows that your future is just a ripple in time through the decisions and thoughts that you make in the present. And if your unconscious mind knows what changes need to make for you to become that future version of you, just let me know by nodding your head. And here in this place, I want you to imagine that not only your unconscious mind is now conducive to making the changes necessary to take you in the very direction of this Helsinki version of you, but also new ideas about what it means to make choices. Too much control is out of control. There is no binary way of living, either good or bad. Everything is on a spectrum. And I want you to accept the suggestion that your unconscious mind will help you through intuition, through emotions, to give you a feedback loop to make better and better choices. The future version of you will not be from one decision made once. It will be the compounding effect of choices made consistently over a period of time. And therefore, you will be able to harness the power of your unconscious mind to give you a feedback loop so that you get to make better and better choices, taking you in the very direction of this future identity that you will be at your healthiest, happiest, and most confident. And one of these suggestions I'm going to give your unconscious mind is the clue to making great choices are choices that feel amazing in the moment, but also feel amazing when you think about them several hours after you made the choice. And as you think back through your own history, there were foods that you ate that felt great in the moment, that perhaps you felt annoyed with yourself, guilty perhaps, frustrated, when you then thought about the same choice several hours after. Your unconscious mind is committed to becoming this future version of you, and now, with that future in mind, it will help you to make great choices in the moment, but also to learn from choices that weren't so great. If it feels good in the moment and good when you think about it later, it will be because it's a choice that leads you to this future version of you. And if your unconscious mind accepts that suggestion, let me know by nodding your head. And if you make a choice that feels bad in the moment, but perhaps feels good later, also, this is not a good choice. It doesn't make sense to punish yourself in the present to feel good later. And there are thousands of people in the world eating cabbage soup for weeks upon end because they've sold themselves on the idea that the end justifies the means. The key to making great choices that take you to this identity, this new future version of you, is to enjoy the process. And given there are thousands upon thousands of different things that you can eat and different ways of being active, doesn't it make sense to eat what you enjoy, but also takes you towards this future? Given all the different ways of being active, doesn't it make sense to do the activities that are fun for you, relaxing for you, enjoyable for you, but also takes you towards the very direction that you want to go to? And on the way there will be distractions, temptations. But I want you to get a sense that if you go to a gym and lift light weights, you don't get stronger. It's the heaviness of the weight that enables your muscles to get stronger. That the resistance is necessary. And I want you to accept that for your discipline to improve, you need what at one point in your life you would consider temptations. Things that you used to enjoy because you weren't committed to this future identity. I want you to get a sense that everything is possible. You can eat 10 liters of ice cream if you want, but there would be a consequence. It might feel good to begin with, but then you would feel horrible later. And while the first, perhaps, spoon of ice cream would feel great, the second liter or third liter of ice cream would feel disgusting at that point. Everything is possible, but not everything is desirable. And from this point forwards, you will seek out what gives you pleasure in the moment, but also takes your life in this very direction, this Helsinki direction. I want you to imagine that you can see this screen, this future version of you, and then I want you to imagine there is another screen next to it, showing all the possible temptations that could derail you from this future. Takeaways with high-calorie food, with excess portions. And I want you to get a sense that if you choose to eat these big portions, it doesn't make the future impossible, but it might take longer to get to that Helsinki version of you. I want you to get a sense that progress is more important than perfection, and progress is making the best choices you can that's a reflection of your value system. And maybe you just introduce certain rules or boundaries so that you get to still enjoy life, but still make progress towards this future identity. And maybe it's that you don't eat cake unless it's someone's birthday. Or you don't have dessert unless it's a special occasion or you're at a restaurant. Your unconscious mind knows that there is a balance. Too much control is out of control, but equally, no control, no discipline just leads to chaos and an undesirable future. I want you to get a sense that your ability to make choices based on your circumstances will enable higher levels of discipline and will lay the foundations of habits that don't just mean you get to this Helsinki future, but means that you'll stay there. I want you to think about the next thing in your life that could prove challenging, that could get in the way of you becoming this future version of yourself at this ideal weight where you're at your healthiest, happiest, and most confident. And when you can think about that next thing on the horizon that could not derail you, but just slow down your progress, just let me know by nodding your head. And then all I want you to do on that big screen is see yourself like you're someone else, making excellent choices in the very context and circumstances that you are concerned about. Perhaps you're seeing yourself there alongside other people eating takeaways, but maybe you see yourself eating smaller portions, or saying no to certain drinks, drinking water instead. You're not perfect, but you're making great choices in that context. And then see something else that is probable, and then see yourself making great choices even in those circumstances. And then I want you to also see that one bad day is not sufficient to derail your progress. See yourself indulging too much, eating too much, making the wrong choices. But then see that so long as you reflect and learn from that, and then make better choices the next time, actually that has been a useful and essential part of your journey. I want you to mentally rehearse all these different things that could slow down your progress or steer you off course, and then see that you've either got the ability to make great choices in those circumstances, or to learn from those moments where you went off track to enable you to go off track less often in the future. See them in advance. Forewarned is forearmed. Temptations are necessary to build discipline. Without temptations, there is no choice. And your future version of yourself will come from great choices. But great choices can only come if there's choices that can be made. You get to choose what you buy when you're in the supermarket, what you order from a menu, how much and what you eat on whatever plate is in front of you. All of these are your choices. There is a future of great choices, the Helsinki future, but there is also a future of bad choices. And the worst choice that you can make is the choice as to what it means to fail. Some people have the definition of failure of not reaching their outcome. But the true definition of failure is giving up. It is impossible for you to fail unless you completely give up on the objective of becoming this future version of you that you can see on that screen, looking healthy, happy, and confident. One bad meal does not mean failure. A month of slow progress or no progress doesn't mean failure. The only way you can fail is to give up and go back to doing the very things that led you to reach the weight where you weren't happy, healthy, or confident. If your unconscious mind accepts the suggestion that the only way to fail is to give up, let me know by nodding your head. And wouldn't giving up just mean that you're giving yourself permission to make bad choices? And those bad choices would simply mean that you're heading towards a different identity, perhaps the opposite of Helsinki. Your future will always be a reflection of the choices you made over a period of time. The only question is, are they going to be choices that feel good in the moment and when you think about them later? Or not? Allow these new beliefs, new standards, new ways of thinking to take root deep in your subconscious mind. And just like planting anything, these things are most fragile and vulnerable in the early days. A tree is vulnerable in the first few weeks after being planted, but almost indestructible years after it's been planted. You can nurture these new beliefs by helping your unconscious mind to make great choices, to pay attention to your intuition and emotions after these choices, to check what feels good in the moment and also when you think about it later, to reflect, to refine, to make new choices and standards based on previous intuition and emotions, ensuring that your unconscious becomes your navigator towards your Helsinki future. And then imagine that this room, this represents your unconscious mind, is just your imagination while lying on a bed in some holiday destination, and feel yourself on that bed again, breathing in and breathing out, feeling relaxed. And then imagine getting up out of that bed, breathing in the fresh air, seeing these holiday surroundings, but feeling that something has changed. You now have a determination, a dedication, a commitment to becoming the healthiest, happiest, and most confident future version of you, knowing full well that it's the choices you make that will take you there or keep you from there, and that new beliefs have taken root that will enable your subconscious mind to be your navigator, to let you know if you're getting closer or further away, just like when you were a child playing the game of hotter and colder. Your intuition will now let you know if your choices are taking you closer or further away from the future version of you where you will be your healthiest, happiest, and most confident. And then you realize, even this place, out there, under the sun, is just your imagination. And that actually, these are just thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams, and actually you're listening to my voice firmly in the present. And very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.